Hello, everyone. So my name is Sarah. I am a brand new team member here at Pear Blossom Press. You can find me on most social media channels at Sarah Scraps, Facebook, YouTube, all those places. So I am super excited to be starting a term here with Pear Blossom. I love the idea of creating scrapbook pages that light up. So I'm really hoping that I can show you a couple of things, and that if you are a scrapbooker and you are new to Pear Blossom Press, I hope to be able to share with you some ways to be able to create something really cool, like light up scrapbook pages. Okay, so for my very first project, I'm going to show you the different items that I have pulled, my plan for how I want to use these items, and then I'm going to show you the process of putting everything together. So for lights, I'm going to go ahead and I've pulled out this 5-pack of 1 lights. So this says thin flashlights for handmade cards, scrapbook pages, and more. I have the 5-pack, and my plan is to use 3 of them. I am going to cut a whole bunch of die cut books from this die set. I'm going to use the Pear Blossom glitter and mirror paper to help in cutting out some fun like glitter books and things like that for my project today. And then once I have everything together and ready to go, I can put some of these press stamps from their Pear Blossom Press stamp and die set. I'm going to use this press on some of the bindings on my book to show where you can press the books, because the books are going to be the part that light up. And then I also pulled out the white gel pen to add some details. So my idea is to die cut a bunch of books in this glitter and mirror cardstock, colors that will match and go with the collection of products I want to use today. And then I might use some of these pattern papers as well to cut out my books. And then this may not be the background paper I end up with, but I have this kind of white wood grain paper. So my idea is to cut strips of the white wood grain paper and kind of build up a wooden shelf almost to the middle of my page, but not quite. And then I want to add my photograph here with some stacks of books over here and some stacks of books over here. And then I want the books to be the part that lights up. So you can press the stack of books where it says press and have the books light up. And then down here, I'm going to put my journaling and my title, which I have not figured out what products I'm going to use for those items yet. So that is basically my plan. I am going to go ahead and get all of the strips cut and get all of my books die cut and assembled, and then we're going to come back and kind of put everything together. And let's see if we can do it. Let's see, this is the first light up scrapbook page I am making. This is my first design team project for Pear Blossom Press, but also my first light up scrapbook page ever. And so I thought I would turn on my camera and let's go through it. Let's do it, the first one, all together. So I am going to start by putting the battery into the little light. I just followed the directions that were on the light packaging, and that worked absolutely perfectly. I have some vellum here. We're going to go ahead and kind of use that vellum to create our stack of books. I'm also going to use the stamp set, and I'm going to stamp a little press here on the spine of the book. So I'm going to take all the die cut books and I'm going to adhere them to this vellum. And you'll see here I am going to add like 1 or 2 books, and then I'm going to place the light underneath and make sure I'm getting the little press here stamped image right where it needs to be on my book stack. I'm going to go ahead and just keep doing this. Stack a book, check it with the light, stack a book, check it with the light, and that way I will have my little light up book stack and it will have perfect placement where I need the light to come through. I'm using vellum behind the books so that the light can kind of shine through all of the little cutout pieces on my little book die cuts. And see here, one more time, making sure that this is working the way I want it to. And spoiler alert, it worked fabulously. I absolutely love how this all turned out. So once I have the books stacked as high as I think I want them, and I have them all adhered to the vellum, I'm going to go ahead and trim around those books. And now there are one solid piece of the stacked books with the vellum behind them. Next, I am going to come in with some white cardstock. This is just thin cardstock from my stash. This does not have to be any kind of special cardstock. Whatever you have in your stash, a scrap piece would work perfectly. I'm taking a pencil and I am just tracing all the way around that stack of books, and then I'm going to cut it out on the inside of the line, which gives me a base to kind of build my light around. Once I had that base cut out, now it's time to add the light. And then around the light, I'm going to go ahead and add some of the world's best foam tape. This is going to kind of stabilize my whole light. I cut the foam tape into thinner sized strips, but it's the perfect height. So I did want to use it. And plus I love it because it's repositionable. This stuff is amazing. This is probably the first foam tape I've ever used that like you can move it around. And as a girl who tends to make everything crooked, I'm in heaven. This stuff is amazing. So I did cut it into some thinner strips, and I am just placing this tape all the way around, kind of filling in all around my little light. And then I can pull off the backing paper and place the vellum piece with all of the books, line it up. And if I make it crooked, I can pick it up and move it. Love that. I love that. I am a firm, absolute 100% love this foam tape. So I'm going to go ahead. I put the vellum piece on top that has all of our books. And now I'm just making sure my light is working. Look how adorable that is. And here is the second one. So this, I ended up, initially I had thought I would make 3 book stacks. I ended up only making 2 just because once I decided how my layout design was going to be, I discovered that I didn't really have room and I didn't really need a 3rd set of books. And I'm just showing you here why one of my stack of books is shorter than the other one, because I'm going to put those kind of open books with the bookmark on top of that shorter one. So now I am going to go ahead and put my layout together. I have a photograph here of my niece that my sister-in-law sent me. It is of her. She loves to read just like her Aunt Sarah. And she likes to try to sneak reading at night before she goes to bed. Or before she goes to sleep. And this night she fell asleep while she was reading, and she fell asleep right on her book, which is the cutest thing ever. So as soon as my sister-in-law sent me this photo, I was like, yes, we must scrapbook this. It's so cute. We are going to use paper from Echo Park and Photo Play. And we're also going to use some elements from my stash. I'm going to start by creating just a half and half background for my photo, and for my scrapbook layout, I'm just going to ink the edges using Vintage Photo Distress Oxide ink. I'm going to create a half and half background, and then I'm going to set my photograph just right on the little ledge. And we're going to set this up almost like a scene. So I want to do this so that it looks like there's a ledge that has my photograph and then all of these stacks of books around it. Once I am happy with my photo placement, I'm going to go ahead and add the interactive lights to either side of my photograph. If you are a scrapbooker, I know that you probably have questions. The biggest one being, can I put this in a page protector? Can I put it in an album without the light coming on and staying on? The answer to the question is yes. So once I finished with this layout, I put it through the paces. I put it under a whole bunch of heavy books. I placed it inside the back of one of my albums and kind of stacked stuff on top of it. And the light did not come on. You do need a bit of pressure, like a good push to get the light to turn on. And so I think that was why it worked so well. So don't worry, it's good. It's okay. You can, I also think what really helps is that foam tape is not, when you put it on, if you try it, you'll see it, like it's not squishy, it's pretty sturdy. And I think that helps as well to make sure that the light is only going to go on if you really want it to go on. And not that it takes a lot of pressure, just, focus pressure right there where it says press here. And the light turns on pretty easily. But in a setting where you put it into a photo album, I had no problem with it, like with the light staying on if I closed the album or when I put books on top of the layout. That was my biggest concern when I started creating this layout because I've never done it before, wasn't sure how it was going to turn out. So when the layout was all done, I made sure to go ahead and do some experimentation to make sure that the light is only going to go on when you want it to go on. The light also goes on through a page protector. So this is definitely an interactive element that you can add to a scrapbook page. And if someone is flipping through your album, they don't have to pull the page out of the page protector to get to that little interactive element, like sometimes you do if you have hidden journaling, things like that, where you actually have to physically take the layout out of your scrapbook album before you can see the interactive part. This is something that's interactive that you don't need to do that with, which is totally cool too. I am so excited to make more interactive scrapbook layouts. I think that they're really, really, really cool. So as I've told you about all of my experimentation, I am stacking books all along that little shelf I have created. So some of my books are die cut from the glitter paper that is from Pear Blossom. I did go ahead and add and kind of go over some of the embossed parts of the books with the white gel pen as well. I like the white gel pen. I really like how that glitter paper cut. There was no shedding, which made me super happy. Once I added the books to the page, I really wanted to add a little bit of whimsy to my scrapbook page. So I'm going in with some stickers, just these two little butterflies and those little mushrooms. And then I'm going to take that white gel pen and add some little tails or trails, flying trails, to my butterflies as well. To the bottom right of my layout, down in the corner, to balance everything that we have going up at the top, I'm going to place a little journaling card as well as a couple of cut apart pieces, and I'm going to add my title down there as well. And since I had that lovely kind of wood plank paper across the bottom, I was able to stack just a couple more books down there as well. But you can see how many I ended up die cutting, so many books. So I have lots and lots of books to keep creating with and adding to some other upcoming projects. Next, I went through my stash of wood veneers and found a couple of pieces that I thought would be really nice, both for a title and as a little accent in the upper left-hand corner. They were a little lighter than I wanted though, so I'm just taking my dauber and my Distress Oxide ink and darkening them up. So Cozy Vibes is going to be our title right there. And then this darker, or this circle piece that says Love Books, I'm going to place in the upper left-hand corner to kind of balance out my layout. I really like how this is looking, and I especially love my little lights. I did this so many times, pressed on the little lights because they were so cute. Here's the layout with all the completed elements, and I think I switched my light off, like my desk light. I tried to, yes, see, I switched it off because I felt like you could see the lights better, but then my camera just, what's the word? You can kind of see them a little bit brighter, right? All right, everyone. Thank you so much and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.